Hey guys, welcome. It's a Survival Legion PvP video. I'm on the beta. I've been looking at all the abilities and stuff. It's been fun. I'm not sure personally if I like the direction that Survival's gone, with it being a melee spec, and I've got some footage and I'll show you later. But let's talk about the abilities and stuff like that. So, as Survival, you use a spear. Your artifact is a melee weapon, as you can see here, that you basically upgrade. You get an ability and then you get other abilities which buff your core abilities. So Fury of the Eagle, furiously strikes all enemies in front of you, dealing 263,000 physical damage. Damage increased by Mongoose Fury. What's Mongoose Fury? Good question. Mongoose Fury is the buff you get from Mongoose Bite. So every time you do Mongoose Bite on a target, as such, you get a buff up in the top here. Damage dealt increased by Mongoose Bite by 150%. So now I can do my Eagle's Fury and it's going to do a lot more damage, which is really good. It's still very much like Survival. Obviously, of course, the fact that it's a melee version of itself doesn't really detract from the fact that it's still lots of little things that basically culminate in big damage. You've got your Lacerate, which is a dot. You've got your Flanking Strike, which is where yourself and your pet at the same time, kind of like a glorified kill command, but you also attack. Explosive Trap this time is without glyph. I don't know if they're going to bring the glyph in to do so, but you can do fire damage. If you just use it normally, just throws it in front of you, just there, and then it's ready to go. Raptor Strike, pretty much Arcane Shot. Harpoon, the gap closer. Actually really enjoying this. I've talented it currently with, where is it? Let me find it. Nope, it's going to elude me. Post haste, here we go. So basically what that means is that I've got it to, similar to Disengage of one of the talents in Warlords of Draenor, where you can use it to break all routes. This now breaks all routes but catapults you to them. Survival is currently plagued with arguably the worst defensive possible for this thing. Your defensive is Aspect of the Turtle, a 2.4 minute cooldown, deflects all attacks and reduces all damage you take by 30% for 8 seconds, but you cannot attack. I can't really explain to you how stupid this is. It's an ability that is stopping you from attacking. You can't get hit by them, so it's just a stalemate. Now, deterrence works fine for a hunter because it's a ranged aspect. Really, it's the same as Ice Block. It works, but having a melee build, which has a move which basically stops you from attacking, and you can't get hit, is dumb. It's clunky, and trust me, when you play this and try it, you won't like it. They need to severely change Aspect of the Turtle. I'm not sure what they need to change it to. I can't give a suggestion right now, but in its current build, it isn't good. It's terrible. So let's go through the talents and honor talents that I've picked. There's been obviously a huge shuffle. You've now got these honor talents that you didn't have in any expansion. Trying to bring some excitement to PvP. Kind of wish they'd focus on some other things as well, but we'll take what we can get at this moment in time. For talents at level 15, I've chosen Way of the Nokfalar, or the Nafalar. Raptor Strike also grants you tactics, increasing your attack power by 5% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. What ability is that? Raptor Strike is here. If I go up to the target dummy, use my super quick Aspect of the Cheer, again a horrible long cooldown, and start just attacking Raptor Strike on it, my basic spender when I've got everything else on cooldown. You can see in the top right there, attack power increased by 25%. For level 30, you can choose a mixture of talents. They're all basically to do with your traps. You can have a new trap ability, or you can go with what I've chose for, which is improved traps, which has just made my freezing trap just that little bit faster. Level 45 we spoke about. I've gone for post haste over the other two. I just feel like it's a much better option. Just move away from there. Level 60, you've got a Return to Murder of Crows, Dragon's Fire Grenade, I'll give you a second to read that, and also Snake Hunter. Level 75, I've chosen Sticky Bomb. Hurls a concussive grenade at your target, which sticks to them and explodes after 3 seconds, knocking back all nearby enemies. I found this is really good to use and time so that when it explodes and knocks people over, you're using Fury of the Eagle. Because if you do that, they're all going to fall over and you're going to get a much bigger uptime on the duration of the attack. Because the problem with Fury of the Eagle at the moment is it's similar to Windwalkers if they couldn't fist stun. They just walk away and laugh at you while you're stood there like a mong. You used to be able to move with this ability, you can't anymore, so you need to make sure that it connects for the full duration, and Sticky Bomb plays into this fantastically. At level 90, I've gone with Serpent Sting. Targets hit by your Raptor Strike and Carve are also affected by Serpent Sting. Another dot. Again, I've tied it to Raptor Strike. Raptor Strike, as you can see, is really important in your rotation. I've got it to buff my attack power and it applies a dot. At level 100, I've gone for Spitting Cobra. Summons a Spitting Cobra for 30 seconds that attacks your target, dealing damage. I actually don't have it on my bars, but I have used it. If I just show you here. So as you can see, it's not quite as small as you thought. It's quite the beast, to be honest. As you can see here, just going to get it to do its attack. Cool animation. Really cool, really cool. And it's a nice long as well. A minute cooldown, but lasts for 30 seconds. You know, it's got its own skill set, and you can definitely use it to keep people in, people in combat for a long time. So it would certainly stop healers from getting a drink off, because, well, it's going to be just hitting them for 30 seconds, and it dies all of a sudden. And I've enjoyed that a lot. I feel it's good utility. You've got Expert Trapper. You can buff your traps and let you read it there. But really, there's no point, especially with how awful. If I just run down here. Tar Trap currently sounds. Listen to this. That is the worst noise I've ever heard in my life. No. Over at the Honor Talents, gone for the Gladiator's Medallion. I just like the fact that I can choose what I can see, basically trinket when I'm CC'd. I've gone for Initiation. Critical chances of your damage and abilities and attacks increased by 30% of health at or above 80% health. Really good for a target switch. It's really good to switch onto someone when they're full health and do that extra bit of damage. Focus Fire. It sounds really good. Damage increased by 15%. Being attacked will cancel this effect for 8 seconds. Just is never going to be viable for a melee. Let's just put that right there. You're never as a melee not going to be attacked. So I want to use this, but you can't as a melee. I've gone for Dragon Scale Armor instead of Cat-like Reflexes or Survival Tactics. Dragon Scale Armor basically means that I'm take 20% less dot damage from casters, which is awesome. The next talent, you've got Viper Sting. Your Raptor Strike stings a target, reducing their healing done again. Buffing the utility of Raptor Strike. Actually nuts how much Raptor Strike is important to maintain. Scorpid Sting, which I've chosen so far. Your Raptor Strike again. Stings the target, reducing their physical critical chance by 50% for 6 seconds. As I mentioned earlier, Survival's biggest weakness to ours is so god-awful defensively. So being able to use Raptor Strike on the target to less the crit physical strike that they're going to put on me is a godsend. I still die instantly. You're going to see it in the Battleground, but this has been absolutely fantastic for mitigating damage. And Spider Sting, really good against, casters. You put it on them. If they cast a spell in the next 5 seconds, they get silenced. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you get 8 seconds to put it on. If they cast a spell in those 8 seconds is on them, they get silenced for 5 seconds. Very nice. Next talent, reduces the cooldown of your aspect of the cheater by 50%. The aspect of the cheater causes allies to gain. Utility-wise, Mending Bandage is really good. And this could be the thing that solves the problem. It's fantastic when you get out of combat to use it, because it is a very nice good heal at a 25-second cooldown. It removes all dots, and then well, apart from obviously Warlock shit, but it removes most dots, and then you can just pop it on, get a nice heal, feels good. Master's Call, similar to WOD, breaks you out of CC. I don't really see the need for this because you can use Harpoon to do the same thing, and Mending Bandage has its points, especially when you've just been attacked. And if you actually manage to win, then you can quickly just use that heal and get that, get 50 HP back really fast. Final talents, you've got Sticky Tar. Enemies who stand in your tar trap for 3 seconds have their gear coated with tar, slow melee attack speed. If it didn't sound so awful, I'd use it. Diamond Ice, victims of a freezing trap can no longer be damaged or healed. Freezer trap is now undispellable, but has a 6-second duration. And the one that I've chose, Tracker's Net. It's just been really good when I've had 2 melee on me to just keep one constantly at bay. Because like I said, you lack the defensive, so it's been really, really good to have that CC. Anyway, let's go on to the Battleground and I can show you the spec in action. Cheers. So here we go then, guys. Eye of the Storm. We're on the Legion beta, playing survival. Let's have a look and see how this goes. I think the Horde overall in the beta have been doing better than the Alliance, which is kind of a nice change of pace from live. I think people are kind of the the opinion, let's play some Horde because Alliance has been winning the entire time. As you just see there, you might be asking yourself why I've just manually resummoned the spider. There's a current bug in the game, for the beta at least. It's the beta, it's going to have bugs where your pets won't go off ledges and follow you. So obviously as a survival, you'd have no pet the entire game, so you need to resummon it. See, there's a Shadow Priest at the back. Just come straight into him, get the harpoon out, show that you can just literally jump straight past the line of opponents and engage. But he pops his defensive and pulls back, so I'm just looking for any opportunity. This Demon Hunter opens up on me, so I want to get a little bit of damage onto him. He pops his meta form, so I instantly pop my aspect of the turtle to give me the deflection and the damage reduction. Also popped my exhilaration heal, just keeping myself as aggressive as possible. I don't want to have to fall back too far behind, and that allows me to then get the harpoon back up onto the Shadow Priest that I attacked earlier, and we land the kill. Obviously, being mindful of what's happening around me. We've taken one of the bases, and so it seems the Alliance have taken 2, which is a shame. So I'm going to help assist by trying to take Mage Tower to just even out the amount of bases that we've got. Even though it's the beta and it doesn't matter if you win, you kind of would like to win. So yeah, I'm just going to try and play some of the objective in this match. You notice that there's a Mistweaver up here, along with 2 other classes. So I'm just going to open on the Mistweaver as soon as possible. Get my dots on him, get some just to bleed and the healing reduction. Notice that there's a player in here that the Demon Hunter's followed, so I'm just trying to get a few hits on him. Just got my dot there from Raptor Strike just to keep him in combat, in case he was a pesky rogue. You can't really tell with the clusterfuck that's going on sometimes in this event. Got stunned there by the Demon Hunter. That Demon Hunter there now just pop blur, that cooldown falls down and we just all open up onto him and literally just gang bang him to death. Obviously we took Mage Tower super quick because so many of us were there, so I'm just looking at what I can really latch onto. I notice this Paladins there. Paladins right now are absolutely incredible in the alpha, beta, sorry, so you don't want to be too aggressive. But I'm just trying to unload my dots onto him, just try and follow him up with as much damage before we go for the burst. So I'm just unloading my Mongoose Strikes into there and hitting with a Fear of the Eagle. Again showing you that I didn't pre-grenade, so he literally just started to backpedal and walk out of it, but obviously with people on my team helping me, it doesn't matter, he's going to still feel a lot of damage. As you can see there, I got retted, which is the fair reasoning term for this current patch of the beta, because Paladins, no matter what spec, you've got prop Paladins solo in the world, and you've got rep Paladins that if you get them to 10% can one-shot you with their abilities. It's a bad time to face rep Paladins, especially as something as squishy as the Survival Hunter, but you're there to test the water and see what you can do. It would have been nice to have the explosive trap gift and maybe just knock him off the edge and to his death, as opposed to having to try and fight him, but it's whatever. So here, notice the Demon Hunter, so we're going to get the harpoon straight into him. Got the bleed on him thanks to Raptor Strike. Just did my flanking strike to get my pet and myself to do some nice damage on him. Also got the dot on there from the cleave. Now I'm trying to unload as many Mongoose Strikes into him, Mongoose Bites, into him as possible, but he, as a Demon Hunter, just leaps away and my harpoon wasn't available to connect with him and keep myself on him. So going to switch to this Restoration Shaman. Obviously just want to kill healers if we ever see him, and he was on his own with so many people around that he really didn't have a choice or a chance. So Draenei Runes looks like a good option. I noticed that the Affliction Wallet gets me with a dot, and there's a DK Frost that's at Draenei Ruins, so really not going to achieve anything. A survival hunter right now, its alliteration certainly can't kill a DK, but I certainly would have a go if the opportunity presented myself. Obviously here the same shaman's just given himself the ability to be opened on again, so just going to put into my rotation as much damage as possible. Going to hold on to my kick, so if it's needed I'll then use it at the end, but he gets kicked by someone else, so I just start to unload some of my damage through Fury of the Eagle. Again, just keeping my dots on him and then using my flanking strike when possible on cooldown. Harpoon failed because he was already dead, but luckily it doesn't use the charge, so I could use it straight away onto this monk, who gives us a nice leg sweep. I just trinket because I just want to kill him instantly, and I feel like the team's going to all charge for Draenei and we're going to be able to take it. You know, the Rep Paladin here notices all of us on HP, so I instantly use my aspect of the turtle, pop my exhilaration heal. Now I want to be as defensive as possible and then just keep my pressure going. Finally get to connect to that warlock that did the cheeky dot on me earlier, so I'm just going to unload as much of my abilities as I can. I get some of my damage off and then I use a Fury of the Eagle, but unfortunately there was two there that I didn't notice the other guy, and they just opened up on me and they just cleaved me down, which is fair enough. Forgetting obviously now that I can play an orc, I just completely forget that I've got Blood Fury because, you know, being spoiled by being the overpowered alliance for the whole of expansion of Warlords of Draenor has kind of made me forget the other races and what they can do. You know, we took the flag there. The warrior forgot who he was for a second, probably thought he was alliance like I keep doing, and he's going to go and cap that. So we need to start doing something because we're obviously losing the battleground. You know, find the Rep Paladin again, so I'm going to definitely have a go at this. Actually, I believe that's a prop paladin. Yes, it is. So this is even more scary. As you can see, the damage it's doing is just nuts. But I managed to unload a good Fury of the Eagle charge onto him, but he just smacks me down, and they're within literally 50% of my HP in just a few seconds. So yeah, it's quite crazy. I must admit the most damaging class that I've faced so far has definitely been Sub-Rogue. I've been pretty much killed within a cheap shot. Not really any ability to counter that at all, unless you trinket then eat a full kidney and die anyway. But you know, it's the beta, so things are going to be unbalanced. Realise that I might actually get the opportunity to enjoy a 1v1 in this battleground, so I'm going to instantly take the chance to go against this DK. I just want to double confirm that he's the only one. He grips me but doesn't slow me, so I just simply mount and continue. You see there he only touched me for a few seconds, but he nearly took off 20% of my HP, so I'm going to do my battle bandage, which I think is a better name. Just get my HP back, and I'm going to just see if I can get him to come to me, and it'll just be a 1v1 because it'd be good to face another class 1v1. So DK is obviously quite a tanky brute force person. I mean, Frost isn't that tanky in beta, but it will certainly be more tanky than me. So I try to just do it for a 1v1. You know, I get him with the grenade and get ready to give him the burst. So I've also popped my aspect of the hawk there, and I'm getting ready to do my damage, but unfortunately I just never get it off. You know, this is the problem I'm seeing with survival, because you have literally no defense at all. It doesn't matter, it doesn't take long before you're just killed, knocked down, and you just can't get back up, and you can't turn the tides. Like, it's quite frustrating as a survival hunter at the moment. They certainly need to do something about that aspect of the toe. It needs to be a defensive that you can activate that doesn't stop you from doing damage. It's counterproductive as a melee to have a defensive that means you can't attack. It just doesn't work. You can even attack with bubble as a paladin. There's no excuse for it. You can see I'm a little bit sour about that, but it's what it is, you know. And hopefully they're gonna, you know, take on people's feedback, which they haven't really seemed to have been doing in the feedback forums on especially the US ones, where they ask for it and then don't really do anything about it. But that's you know, that's neither here or there. We're enjoying some survival right now. You know, I don't know what I still currently feel about this class. Hopefully you can gauge from this video, you know, how it plays, the weaknesses, the strengths it has. In terms of what you want to do. I must admit, currently like this, I have no plans to play it. I like the fact that they're making big significant changes to the classes. You know, we've always asked for it. We've wanted for hunters to be distinguishable, you know, more than just a bowman with a pet. And they've certainly done that, and I'm looking forward to playing Beast Mastery next, after this survival video that I'm making. But I just don't like the idea of this. I feel like I don't know. I feel like if they fix the defensives, it could be okay. It feels quite I feel like it's saying it's quite Windwalker-esque. I mean, obviously with freezing trap and stuff like that, it's got. Well, you could argue freezing trap similar to paralysis in the way that it's obviously a ranged incapacitate. But yeah, I just can't really. I'm not feeling it, I think is the best way to put it. You know, if you're looking at this and going, oh, this looks epic, I can't wait to get in and harpoon those bitches, then honestly, more power to you. You know, just getting cleaved down and instantly dead, and having a defensive which is on a 2.4 minute cooldown, which means that you can't attack, and you know, it deflects all dot damage on you by 30%, and you can't then be hit by any new attacks whilst it's up. It just doesn't fit the playstyle. There's no like ability to like react correctly, because it just pauses the match. I'm just not a huge fan of it. But anyway, they're obviously trying to take Mage Tower, so I'm going to get straight on this rogue. This rogue obviously just killed me a minute ago, DFA. They've definitely changed Roll of the Bones. I mean, those dice are fucking massive now. I don't know, I'm not quite sure what changed in a couple of days. But yeah, as you can see there, I was trying to connect to him with my EU latency. I couldn't, so my character just went into absolute sporadics. I get opened on by the rogue, I trinket the cheap instantly, but it's just not enough. The combat guy just absolutely lays into me, and I'm just instantly dead. You know, I'm being mindful of the score. I'm seeing that it's been so close this game, and we've actually now taken the lead by 3 or 4 points. And I want to win this because you might be able to get some cool items. So I'm going to now play the objective because I'm try hard, and you should all do that too. And so yeah, I'm just going to wait for myself to spawn, and then I'm going to just go and see where the flag's at. So we get back in. You know, we've now got 2 bases, they've got 1, so we've got points. That's the points that are coming into as our advantage. Just going to jump over this bitch and assist with the cleanup here, then go for the flag. Luckily the Demon Hunter vaults away and retreats. You know, we've got DPS in between myself and him, so he can't really stop the cap. I'm going to then obviously try and run as fast as possible. You know, I've used my aspect of the cheater there. Again, huge cooldown. I mean, you can obviously, I've shown you can talent it to make it less, but they just need to make them toggle. It's again just the fact that it feels like Hunter's lost so much utility. It's just so static in what you can do. It's kind of a shame really, but as you can see here, we've got the 3 bases and they've only got the 1. This paladin comes to stop me, but he doesn't stun and load his damage, so I quickly cap before turning around to deal with him. You know, obviously I'm looking at the difference. I instantly pop my acceleration. I'm very fortunate that I've got a rogue with me that will offer the stuns, so I'm not going to DR anything that he's trying to do. You know, pop in the mongoose bites, and then I try and get a huge fury of the eagle on him. And there you can see there as much damage as possible. Trying to keep my distance because, as I've mentioned before, paladins have an ability that when they're low on HP, they can literally global you. And as you can see, he's still putting out a massive amount of damage on me. So I'm trying to be really distanced between myself and him. Luckily though, with the rogue also assisting me for the start of that duel, you know, he allowed to put him at bay and keep me aggressive, not having to be too defensive all the time, which was really good. You know, it seems like the Battleground's going to be ours. Only 100 points to go, and we've got still 3 of the bases, so I just want to kind of get in there and just push these people back, you know, get some more gameplay of me actually engaging some targets. I get instantly horrid there, so I just switch to this Demon Hunter. You know, I have to again instantly pop my shell, so I stop taking the damage. I try to use my battle bandage, but it breaks, which I think is quite a shame. If they were going to keep this defensive, put in the battle bandage and allowing it to work whilst you're in the shell of aspect of the toe, it would be quite a nice touch. I can see that down there, there's a shaman that's constantly trying to heal, so I'm looking at the chance to show you freeze and trap and kind of like how it's changed from where it used to shoot in the air and now it's like frisbeed along the floor. So I frisbee it down to him there as it glides across the floor, get him with it, and it traps him, but obviously he's the last person left, and all the DPS are just going to switch to him and just blow him up. So there you have it. That is currently how in the beta survival's playing. Got obviously a gift there which looked pretty interesting. The damage was okay, died quite a few times, but again, as I mentioned, survival's incredibly weak defensively, so can't really be too surprised by it. But as you can see there, I got a relic slot, which means I can do an extra 8% on all my physical damage attacks, which is pretty nice. But guys, yeah, I've been Jock and JD. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, please help by subscribing, like and comment. Peace.